Of the enemies the Tenno face in the Origin system, none are as brutally efficient and cruel as the Grineer. Their ironclad militaristic values give them an unwavering strength of resolve, even when faced with innumerable odds. This military nature has permeated every facet of their society, to the point where society is almost non-existent, leaving instead a cruel imitation of order that is arbitrarily arranged at inception. This is the Grineer social hierarchy. At birth, or more accurately at the advent of a Grineer clone's enlisted life, each soldier is branded with a value determining their worth. From the logs of Dr. Tengus and Sarkis Ruck, we can see that each soldier is placed into a ranking that is determined by their mental and physical scores. What exactly these scores depend on is uncertain, but it seems that physical deformities, mental instability, and general aptitude are some major deciding factors. Though they are clones, the technology the Grineer use is obsolete. Decayed genetic templates that have broken down over centuries of exploitation lead to unpredictable results. A clone is produced, yes, but each clone has varying levels of proficiency. One of the most powerful assets the Grineer have is their resourcefulness. Their ability to utilize any source of power allows for them to rarely have accidents. Instead, they merely produce results that are beneficial to a wide array of goals. The clones fall under this range of resources, and every clone has a place in the Grineer hierarchy, even if it is a torturous one at best. Clones that are formed with low physical and mental scores are doomed to be sacrificed as cannon fodder. The melee units we encounter, such as butchers or scorpions, likely fall into this class, expendable units who are miserably suited to any loftier status. Clones with low mental scores are also likely doomed to fall into this class, with units such as power fists boasting incredible physical strength but woeful intelligence, thus consigning them to the front lines. As we progress up the physical and mental scales, we reach the upper echelon of Grineer units. Heavy gunners, bombards, napalms, etc. These units are born with abnormal size variances, giving them a leg up against their more traditionally sized comrades. Whether or not mental scores are required for these positions is uncertain, though it would be assumed that such powerful positions must also be capable of directing combat. Some Grineer are born with too many deformations to be combat suitable, yet are blessed with impressive intellect. These units are assigned to watch over scientific processes or monitor deployment from positions away from combat. As I stated earlier, it is uncertain if combatants are ranked based on mental scores to a certain extent, and it is a possibility that Grineer with high intellect are solely in charge of directing combat, while combatants are mostly subservient and not in leadership positions, with a few exceptions such as commander units. Grineer who lack sufficient mental and physical scores are placed into monotonous labor jobs, or should they fail to meet even the baseline, are deconstructed and their raw genetic material is repurposed. As an aside, the Grineer are far from stupid, as many other races seem to believe. Instead, their singular purpose and steadfast dedication to their queens gives the appearance of simplicity, yet their zeal is close to religious, and is not evidence of stupidity, but simply of their extremely, by the queen's design, narrow worldview, only strengthened over time by consistent propaganda that is rarely contradicted by outside sources, which are viewed as heresy. Beyond the scoring processes of the Grineer, gender is a major deciding factor in determining worth. Because it is a matriarchy, females are placed in higher regard than males. Even the lowliest female Grineer is granted access to weaponry that places them above males of similar status, as evidenced by the Scorpion unit's equipment. Additionally, all females are required to serve in the military, regardless of status, as detailed by the information we have on Keladathame. This illustrates that war is the primary focus of the Grineer, placed even above research and development. Perhaps there are little to no female scientists in the Grineer order, with such comfortable positions seen as disgraceful, and thus not worthy of a female seat. Additionally, art, entertainment, and pleasure are all endeavors the Grineer have little to no value for. Creativity and imagination are worthless unless they directly result in progress for the Grineer matriarchy. Therefore, it is likely that the average Grineer has no opportunity for hobbies or relationships, forced to participate in warfare until they are dead or advanced beyond the lesser rank and file. Because as we see, the upper echelons of the Grineer are largely self-sufficient. The major Grineer figures we have encountered thus far seem to have very little control placed on them by the Twin Queens. Higher ranking Grineer are allowed to pursue their own methods so long as they result in benefit for the matriarchy, with side benefits not worthy of note, such as Ruck's augments, Heck's own political control, and for a portion of time, Vor's Tenno research. Yet it is seen that if progress is not substantial, the Queens will directly intervene and halt these endeavors, as seen with Vor's demotion to Captain when his Tenno eradication program yielded unfavorable results. Perhaps with such an overwhelming force to monitor, the Queens have very little bandwidth for constant control over every upper-ranked Grineer, instead relying on the occasional report to find its way to them, no doubt preceded by hundreds upon thousands of others. For this reason, the Grineer matriarchy could be regarded as a group with a singular purpose, but not entirely of a singular mind. But, as with many things in the Warframe universe, these are mostly uncertain, and should in no way be taken as the only possible interpretation. But until the time comes when we have all the facts, this is what we know.